I don't think I've ever done that before, but while I have my thoughts together, I wanted to go ahead and discuss this particular topic just to give an update on this situation. So, just a couple of weeks ago, I was talking about how my daughter wanted to go to homecoming. It is something that she wanted to do for her birthday. She didn't want anything else. I tried to convince her to want something else, but she didn't want anything else. So, my dilemma was the fact that I knew I wasn't getting paid yet, and I didn't know if I could make that happen for her. Well, let me explain to you how I made this happen. So basically, my partner, he went out with some friends. Never heard of this type of scenario. I'm not someone who frequent bars at all, and I'm not someone who plays bingo, but he frequent bars every now and then, and he does not play bingo. But he said he decided to get a board for $5. He figured why not? His friends were playing. He got one board, $5. First time bingo player, first time uh patron at this bar. Sure enough, he won bingo, and he won just a few $100s. I'm not gonna say just a few $100. Trust me, it mattered. So he ended up giving me some of it. I'm not gonna say how much, because but he gave me some. And actually, I because he works hard and pays the bills and stuff, I don't really be looking for him to just hand me money, pay the bills. I'm good. I work too, so if I want something, I usually get it myself. But he gives me money regardless. And it's a relationship, so we both pulling our weight in this relationship, especially financially. But with that being said, he doesn't really get himself much of anything at all. He doesn't really buy himself much of anything. So I really wanted him to take those winnings and get himself some new clothes. Okay. And that's no offense to him. I love him dearly. The man knows how to take good care of his clothes, but he didn't have his clothes for years. He needs some new clothes. But instead, he decided to give me some of the money. So what did I do with it? I made my daughter's dreams come true for homecoming. I told her, look, here's money. It is from him, not from me. He gave it to me, but I'm giving it to you for your birthday and also for homecoming. This money will get you your dress, will get you your shoes, whatever else you may need, your ticket, etc. The problem was that I only had 2 days off, as far as work goes. Sunday and Monday. Her dress was at the mall. Now, I forget how this went, but basically, by the time we ended up making it to the mall on one of my days off, the darn mall was closed. The store that she wanted to get her dress out of was closed. The mall was open, but the store specifically was closed. So she ended up ordering her dress online because online told her that she would have her dress by Friday, but homecoming was Saturday. So be it, right? Next thing you know, I would say by Tuesday, she ends up coming down with something that made her extremely sick. Um, and she had had perfect attendance up until this point, ended up getting sick and had to miss school for a few days. So that's strike one. Strike two, she checks online and finds out that her dress was actually not going to be available until Monday. And mind you, she needed it Saturday. So that was like strike two. And then strike three was she ended up having to go to the emergency room because of the fact that this situation had her experiencing like a severe headache that I had never um it was going on for too long. I had never heard her experience this. She normally doesn't complain much, but whatever this was, it was really getting to her to the point where she was really upset and in pain and complaining about it. And so I got some assistance from my sister, thankfully, because I work and I'm under probation. I can't miss any days. Okay, but that's a whole nother topic. So my sister thankfully took time out of her day, without thought, without question. She rushed over early in the morning and took my daughter to the emergency room. And my daughter is fine now. It sounds like it was something that was going around in the school, because the science teacher came out and said that he couldn't make like a parent teacher conference night because he was under the weather, and this is her science teacher. So basically, come Saturday, she was not able to come to go to homecoming. We actually ended up taking the dress back when it finally did arrive on Monday. We shipped it right back through UPS. But she ended up finding out from classmates that homecoming actually sucked. Many of them said there was nothing to do. The decorations were lame. The music was lame. It just wasn't what they thought it was going to be. And of course, it's no prom, it's just homecoming. But I guess they expected a whole lot more, just like she did. So in the end, she did not go to homecoming. And instead, she is going to take her money and probably get more school clothes with it, if anything. I think she mentioned doing something else too, but I'm not certain. So it's very fascinating to me, the stress that she was putting on herself as well as onto me for something superficial that turned out to be determined by the children that did attend, turned out to be lame. But again, this is the environment. This is what is considered to be popular. This is the experience, the school experience. So it's like everybody wants to go, everybody, because everybody else is doing it, but then come to find out, you actually didn't miss out on much at all. Instead, you drove me crazy for like a week over the situation, slamming doors, being upset when you thought you couldn't go. And in the end, it turned out to not be what you wanted it to be anyway. And you dodged a bullet and saved some money. So that is it, y'all. Just wanted to give y'all an update. And she's doing fine now. Okay. So thank you all for tuning in. I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.